The very moment you open your eyes in the morning marks the threshold between unconsciousness and awareness. It is a sacred transition, yet in modern life it is often rushed, overlooked, or clouded by habit. Many people wake with alarms blaring, reaching for their phones as if their first breath of the day must be filled with someone else's noise. But the first moments upon waking are not meant to be borrowed from the outside world. They are meant to reconnect you with your own life force, your breath, your heartbeat, your existence. To awaken with awareness means to give reverence to the beginning. It is the practice of not allowing the external world to impose itself upon you before you have fully arrived in your own presence. Before reaching for any device or diving into your to-do list, simply be. Feel the weight of your body on the bed. Notice the rhythm of your breath, how it moves in and out without effort. Observe the silence around you, or perhaps the early sounds of the world starting to stir. These simple acknowledgements awaken not only your body, but also your inner observer, the part of you that does not react, but simply sees. This awareness is not just stillness, it is power. From this stillness, clarity arises. You begin to remember that you are not merely someone reacting to a schedule, but someone capable of setting a tone. With awareness, you choose how to enter the day, gently or with resistance, calmly or in haste. The first few minutes shape the mental terrain of the hours to come. If your first act is reactive, like checking emails or social media, you surrender your attention before it's even truly yours. If your first act is intentional, like breathing deeply or observing your thoughts, you reclaim your sovereignty over the day. Cultivating awareness as you wake is also a form of gratitude. To awaken at all is not something promised. Many did not receive this gift today. So instead of rushing through this opening moment, dwell in it. Let your awareness rest not only on your breath and body, but also on the fact that you are here, alive, capable. This subtle realization creates a foundation for appreciation, which carries a different energy into every action that follows. Do not confuse awareness with slowness or inefficiency. Rather, it is the most efficient way to align your inner world before you engage with the outer one. Just a few moments of mindful presence upon waking can ripple throughout your day. It shifts the question from, what do I have to do, to how do I choose to show up? That question can only be answered by someone who has woken up not just physically, but consciously. The body is not separate from the mind. Though many live as if they are disconnected, they are bound by the same breath, fed by the same energy. When the body is stiff, stagnant, or neglected, the mind mirrors this state, becoming sluggish, anxious, or unclear. Movement is not simply a physical act. It is a form of internal cleansing. It shakes off the residue of sleep, disperses the heaviness of unconscious thoughts, and begins the day with deliberate activation of your life force. To move the body in the morning is to honor the vessel that carries you. It is not about performance, image, or how much you sweat. It is about creating flow. The energy that may have pooled or stagnated during sleep now has a direction. Simple movements, stretching the spine, rotating the joints, walking slowly with awareness are acts of awakening. They tell the body, we are alive, we are present, we are preparing. Even 5 minutes of motion done with full attention becomes a ritual of alignment between body and mind. As the body moves, the breath follows. When breath and movement become synchronized, something quiet happens internally, the mind begins to settle. Instead of racing through thoughts, it begins to follow the rhythm of the breath. In Eastern traditions, this is why movement and meditation are often inseparable. Practices like Qigong, Tai Chi, or yoga are not merely exercises. They are tools for mental stillness through physical motion. The body is the doorway, not the obstacle, to inner peace. Morning movement also strengthens the will. There is a discipline in choosing to engage the body before the mind asks for comfort. The warmth of the bed calls you to stay. The comfort of stillness tempts you to delay. But by overcoming this resistance early in the day, you send a message to yourself: I lead, not my mood. This small act of discipline becomes a seed. As the day unfolds, it grows into greater resilience, better focus, and a deeper sense of ownership over your actions. And so, each morning becomes a ritual of reconnection. You move not because the world demands it, but because your body deserves it. Through movement, you remind yourself that the mind does not always need more thinking. It often needs more presence. And presence begins in the body through motion, breath, and awareness that together prepare you to meet the day not with tension, but with grounded strength. In a world where noise has become the default setting, silence is a rare and powerful practice. The morning hours, before the demands of the day unfold, offer a space untouched by urgency. A space where silence can speak. To sit in silence is not to do nothing. It is to become aware of everything. It is an act of observation, of witnessing the movement within instead of being swept away by it. The silence is not empty. It is full of clarity if you have the patience to listen. When you sit without speaking, without reacting, without reaching for distraction, you come face to face with your mind. At first, what you meet may be noise, thoughts darting, memories arising, anxieties trying to pull you back into yesterday or ahead into tomorrow. Do not fight these. Do not suppress them. Just observe. Like clouds drifting across the sky, allow them to pass. The purpose is not to eliminate thought, but to stop being ruled by it. In silence, you become the sky, not the storm. This sitting practice does not require incense, chants, or special cushions. Only your willingness to be still. Sit upright, allow the spine to rise like a mountain, and return again and again to the breath. The breath is always here. It becomes the anchor, pulling you back from distraction into the now. You are not meditating to become someone else. You are sitting to remember who you already are, beneath all the mental chatter and surface tension. Silence also reveals what is hidden. It is in stillness that your deepest insights arise, not as loud declarations, but as quiet recognitions. You begin to see what you have been avoiding, what you have been clinging to, what needs to be released. This kind of clarity is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. To carry emotional and mental fog into the day is to walk with blurred vision. Silence clears the lens, allowing you to see life and yourself with honesty. To sit in silence each morning is not to escape the world, but to prepare for it. Before responding to others, before engaging with complexity, you return to your center. From there, decisions are clearer, actions are more deliberate, and reactions lose their grip. The world will challenge your calm many times throughout the day, but the silence you cultivate in the morning becomes a reservoir, one you can return to even amid chaos. Just as the body requires nourishment to function, so does the mind. Yet, unlike the body, the mind is often fed unconsciously, consumed by noise, rather than substance. In the early hours of the day, before your mental gates have been flooded by messages, updates, and obligations, you have a rare opportunity to choose your first mental meal. What you allow into your mind in these quiet moments becomes the tone setter for your thoughts, your energy, and your way of seeing the world. Feeding the mind with wisdom means choosing quality over quantity. A single paragraph of timeless insight, a verse, a line from a sacred text, or a simple reminder of a core principle. These can do more for your inner clarity than hours of empty information. The mind, like fertile soil, responds best when what is planted is intentional. Reading or listening to wisdom in the morning is not about collecting knowledge. It is about aligning with truth, truth that endures beyond emotion or circumstance. In this space of stillness, words carry weight. Teachings that might be overlooked in the rush of daily life suddenly speak louder. A story about patience, a reflection on discipline, a phrase about impermanence, all become guides, not just concepts. They filter into your thoughts, your speech, your actions. Wisdom digested in the morning is like a compass placed in your hand before you begin the journey. It does not walk the path for you, but it keeps you from wandering in circles. But this feeding must be conscious. The internet is full of content, but not all content is nourishment. Much of it distracts, agitates, or confuses. That is why discernment is key. Select what you read or listen to the way you would select food for a long journey with care. Ask yourself, does this uplift my understanding? Does it ground me in what matters? Does it sharpen or scatter my attention? When you feed the mind with intention, your day unfolds with more clarity, less confusion. Morning wisdom is not meant to entertain. It is meant to awaken. It is not about volume, it is about depth. Even if all you do is read one sentence and carry it in your heart throughout the day, that sentence becomes a thread running through all your interactions. The more often you begin your day this way, the more your mind learns to seek depth over distraction. And slowly, that is, the number art becomes less a container of noise and more a reflection of truth. Before the noise of the world enters, before you are pulled in 100 directions by tasks, messages, and demands, there is a brief and powerful window, a space in which you can choose who you are going to be. Setting a clear intention is not about making a long list of goals. It is not about pressure or productivity. It is about alignment. It is about choosing to live the day on purpose instead of drifting through it unconsciously. Intention is the quiet commander behind your actions. Without intention, you wake up and become a passenger, reacting to circumstances, pulled by emotions, following momentum that is not your own. But with intention, you become the driver. You move with clarity, not confusion. Setting an intention is not a ritual of the mind alone. It is a statement from the heart. It asks, what matters to me today? How do I want to show up? What energy do I want to carry through every interaction, every task, every challenge? These are not small questions. These are the roots of conscious living. Your intention does not need to be complicated. In fact, the most powerful intentions are often the simplest. Today, I will act with patience. Today, I will listen more than I speak. Today, I will protect my peace. Such statements are not promises to be perfect. They are quiet anchors to return to when the day becomes noisy or demanding. Each time you remember your intention, you re-center yourself. You return to the path you chose, not the one chosen for you by habit or impulse. To set an intention is also to create inner accountability. You begin the day by declaring a direction, not to impress others, but to stay connected to yourself. And in moments when you feel lost or overwhelmed, your intention becomes a compass. It reminds you why you began. This is especially important when life becomes difficult, when emotions flare, or when plans unravel. In those moments, it is not your schedule that holds you together. It is your intention. When practiced consistently, setting an intention becomes more than a morning habit. It becomes a way of life. It strengthens the mind's ability to focus, and more importantly, it strengthens your ability to lead yourself. It is the difference between being busy and being deliberate. The world may still be unpredictable. Challenges will still come. But the one thing you always carry is your clarity of purpose. And that begins in the first quiet moments of the day when you choose to live it on your terms. Each morning you awaken is a gift, not guaranteed. To reflect on your mortality is not to become heavy with fear, but to become light with clarity. This reflection is not about death itself, but about understanding life more deeply. When you remember that your time is finite, distractions lose their power, and what truly matters begins to rise to the surface. This awareness sharpens your vision. It removes the unnecessary and invites the essential. Many avoid this contemplation, fearing it will bring sorrow. But in truth, it brings gratitude. When you realize that today may be your last, even simple moments become sacred. A sip of water, the breath in your lungs, the sound of the wind, the presence of a loved one, all become gifts, not entitlements. You begin to understand that life is not something you possess. It is something you participate in moment by moment. Mortality does not darken your life, it illuminates it. To sit quietly in the early hours and consider your impermanence is to take back your attention from what does not serve you. The petty arguments, the endless comparisons, the rush to achieve without meaning, all these lose their grip when placed next to the truth of your limited time. This is not a thought meant to depress. It is a mirror that reflects your priorities. It asks you silently, if not now, when? If not this life, then which? This reflection does not need to be long. A single moment of remembering that your breath will one day stop can recalibrate the entire trajectory of your day. It can lead you to speak more kindly, to act more boldly, to forgive more freely, and to waste less energy on what is outside your control. It creates urgency, not the urgency of stress, but the urgency of presence, a desire to be here fully with open eyes and an open heart. And so you rise not only with discipline, not only with purpose, but with humility. You walk into the day knowing it is not owed to you, and that awareness transforms ordinary routines into sacred rituals. Mortality, when welcomed with wisdom, becomes the fire that forges meaning. It makes the sunrise more vivid, the silence more profound, and the decisions you make more aligned with who you truly are beneath the surface of habit. Stillness is not meant to remain hidden within. It is a presence that can be felt by others, even when no words are spoken. When you cultivate inner silence, calm, and clarity in the early morning hours, let that presence extend beyond your posture and breath. Carry it into your voice, into your gaze, into how you step into the world. The discipline you practice within is not for you alone. It becomes your unspoken language, shaping how others experience you. Many believe stillness is passivity, but it is the opposite. It is power under control. Stillness expressed outwardly, does not mean you do less. It means you move with purpose. You respond instead of react. You speak with awareness, not with impulse. Your actions are deliberate, not dictated by restlessness. This quality of stillness is rare in the world, and when it is present, it influences more than just your own life. It creates peace around you without force. That is the number R. The moment you step out of your space in the morning, you are no longer alone. Whether you live with others, pass strangers, or speak with colleagues, your energy becomes part of the collective field. If you carry internal turbulence, it will ripple outward. If you carry calmness, it will do the same. This is not philosophy. It is observable. One centered person can settle a room. One unfocused person can unsettle it. What you cultivate within is not just for your benefit. It is your silent offering to the world. Expressing stillness outwardly also means knowing when to pause. In conversation, it is the space between words. In movement, it is the absence of rush. In conflict, it is the strength to remain unmoved when provoked. This kind of stillness is not cold or detached. It is grounded and attentive. It allows you to listen more deeply, to act more wisely, and to be more fully present, because you are no longer driven by the nervous energy of unconscious habits. And so each morning becomes not only a practice in inward preparation, but a rehearsal for the day's encounters. As you rise, breathe, sit, move, and reflect, ask yourself quietly, can I carry this presence with me? Can I let this stillness shape how I speak, how I walk, how I interact? When the inner and outer become one, the gap between practice and life disappears. Stillness is no longer something you retreat into. It is something you live.